Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are in the Kuninkantami area, which is a fairly new residential area in the north of Helsinki. And as you can see, there are no lines running through here. And this is where we will start creating line number 52. Now the lines starting with 5 are sort of east-west running lines, which don't usually stop in the Helsinki city center. There are, of course, exceptions, which you will soon notice, but now we will start with the first east-west line. And the first stop will be created right here, and it's the right city road thing, but it should be double tracked. And it's right here. So this stop is called Kuvataiteilijan katu. No, it's Taidemaalarin katu. There we go. And from this stop there will be a double bus line to the nearest roundabout, which is over here on the other side of the border with Vantaa. And here the loop will go through this roundabout, and here I will create this roundabout because we will need it as a roundabout. We will need it for the buses to be able to make their turn at the end of the line. There are also going to be trucks, buses, you name it, using this area of town. I mean, other ones, other lines. That's the word. And we will have to put in some consideration for them, but to make things easy at the moment, that's how the line starts. Then the following stop will be Avajaisaukio, Vernissageplatsen, which will be around here. Oops, we're back in the double track world. There we go. And there. The first parts of the track have now been created. And then the following stop. The following stop is called Kuninkantammen aukio, Kungseksplatsen, and it will be located by the sports field around, I think, here. This will probably actually be quite a long video, so be prepared for that. That's at least, that is my guess at this point. I will update my update my guess whenever I will get further on in creating this line. But it's the first 50 series line, and that means there will be very little existing infrastructure in the area. And there we have Paletenkierto, which is obviously the name of this roundabout. There is a long tunnel connecting this stretch of track with the rest of the traffic system. We're not going to create the tunnel yet, and I will probably not be creating it as a tunnel because it is running straight under a park. And there is no traffic to be created in the park. So let's see where this is going. Then after the next roundabout, there will be Vanhempientie, Föräldrarvägen. Let's just skip the roundabout. It's not going to be very significant for this system in the end. There. I think you can already notice where this track connects with the rest of the network, but let's see how it will do it. Then we have Kuopuksentie, Minstingsvägen, and yeah, it's pretty close to the previous stop. It's over here. I can actually still remember creating these the last time, and I was like, where the hell am I going? But it's the first time I'm creating this line this way, and this time I know where I'm going. So that's pretty helpful if you think of it. Oops, think of it that way. And the following stop is called Esikoisentie, and it's Förstlingsvägen. It will be somewhere around here. The locations aren't that specific. So these stops are named after streets, named after kids, and Kuopuksen or Kuopus is the youngest kid, and Esikoin is the first kid, so that pretty much makes sense there. And then, okay. So now it will connect with this stretch of track in here, but it will connect to it from this direction, which means that the stops will be located here, but they're not a station of their own. Instead, they will be another stop of this station located a bit further west. So this is where we'll connect with the track already created in the last video. And there we go. And in this crossing, the turn will look like we'll have to take it a bit further from here and from there. Then we'll just need to move the signals. And I think the signals should be a bit imbalanced in that way because I don't want to cause crashes. So there is Karlantie Kuolipelivägen. But then it takes another turn. Now wait a second. Yes, that's right. This track will run through here, and the following stop is called Pajopillintie Videlåtsvägen. And it's somewhere around, not around there, it's around here. So like I guessed, this line will just cross with existing lines at some points, and then it will just do its own thing with the rest of the points. So there will be a lot of track, a lot of stations to be created. But then we again merged with a previously created track, as it will turn from here to the track already created, and this will actually be pretty interesting because you can then choose your tracks. But then it's Vanhaistentie, then it's Kanneltie 8, and then it's Soittajankuja, but then it's Trumpettitie, Trumpetvägen. Wait. Yeah, it's over here. So it actually skips the station. Pretty much. It really doesn't. I mean, if you want to if you want to catch a train at the Kannelmäki station, this is a stop you will leave the bus in. But then we will head towards the next sort of junction between the lines. Let's see how this works. Now we'll actually have to check if I'm on the right track. Things look pretty strange, but yes. Line 52 runs through this stop, so that's the names are a bit deceiving. Because I'm running one map in Finnish, where the route of the bus line is, and I'm running another map on Swedish where the Swedish names and other stops not included on this line are. But I think I did that one right. And then it's clarinet. No, one more second. Something strange is happening here right now. I will double check my maps. Okay. So there is a stop here. But this line doesn't stop in there. Let's create the stop anyway. There we go. And the following stop is Violotie, Fjolvägen. And it's after the crossing, so I will just have to remember to leave out the Clarinetticoja stop. Let's see if I can do it actually. Once I'm creating the line, that's something which we will see later on. If my memory works well enough to ignore that stop. Now we've come so far, and we've actually come pretty far, and we've come along pretty nicely. And then the following stop is after the railroad called Kaustisen tie, right? Yes, that's right. Because this area is named after Finnish instruments. And Kaustinen is the heart of Finnish folk music, so that's why it has its own road in here. And let's create a tunnel under the railroad track. And that's connected right here, and soon we will once again reach the previously created tracks in a sudden and strange merger of something. I don't know what that will be. Whoops, the keyboard is again doing its own magic. So that was Kaustisen tie. Okay, so now I realize how this thing works. It will be connected to the line. If you watched previous videos, it will be connected to a line running through Haga, but if you don't remember it, we will get there very shortly. There we go. I will do one more check on this Clarinetticoja stop now because, well, I just want to check it. Yeah, the only line stopping there is line 36, and if you wonder why I haven't created line 36 yet, that is because it's run by minibuses, and the minibus lines are a whole different kind of thing. But the next stop will be the already created näyttelijäntie. And this is getting interesting now because we're going to run this line all through this massive roundabout, which I sincerely hope I won't have to create it later. Then we'll build a bridge, and then we're back on ground level. And this is the thing. Like I said in the beginning, this will be an important crossing. And I will just put it down there. Oh, no, that won't work. The station, now I've made my first mistake. The station is built too close to the intersection for this to work in a nice way, but it doesn't have to work in a nice way, it will just have to work. So we'll let it be. We won't be moving anything. And we'll use the bridge to go above the ring road, which will also see bus traffic at some point. Just wait for it. I'm not quite yet there, but the point of this channel was for you to see how this the traffic system will unfold. So we'll be turning it to näyttelijäntie, and then we'll have näyttelijäntie at 22. And Ida Olbergin tie and Thalianaukio. But then there is another turn of events, and let's see how this turn of events will unfold. Yeah, it will unfold exactly the way I expected it, because now this line will start. This line will start following the tram tracks, so it will turn left from here, and then we'll just have to move some signals because it's a crossing. And there we go. I think that should work. The next stop is then Huopalahden Asema, or Huopalahti Station, which is located over there. And the following stop is Vihdintie, which is located over here. And then we'll have to see whether this system serves me right or not, because the following stop is going to be Talontie. And it does. There is a route connecting those two kind of points. But then we'll make another strange turn. And the following stop is Ansaritie, which I will have to find on the map right now. And it probably is... Let me see. I'm a bit lost on the map right now, but I think the right place is over. Okay, no. So that's Talontie. Okay, I will have to create once again stops which are not on this line. But that's life, sort of. And I will thank myself later. We will get to the point when you can see me thank myself for creating all this useless shit. Sorry about that. So the following stop is Ansaritie, Orangerivägen, and it comes right after the park starts in here. There we go. I just wonder why the bus doesn't stop there, but I'll accept this. I mean, I will fully accept this. Then we'll again connect with the existing network in Munkkivuori. So we'll just move those two signals a bit and make the connection in here and in here. And there it goes. Very smooth and nicely. All the way until the stop. And then we'll just move the signals to make the crossing safe. Because then we have Munkkivuori, and after that we will have Niemenmäki, right? Yes, that's correct. And then Lokkalantie and... Okay. On some lines, the stop is called Munkkiniemen Puistotie. On some lines, it's called Munkkiniemen Aukio. Let's not stick to that. Because the stop... One more check, actually. Yes. That's quite right. There is a station in, or a stop in here. Won't be a stop of its own. It will be Munkkiniemen Puistotie, which is also Munkkiniemen Aukio. I mean, the stops are pretty much the same. There are several buses, there are several trams, and they all meet over here. The thing that we will need to do in here is to push the track all the way across the crossing and then check that the signals are in decent places, which they are in all other direction except of the new direction here. And from now on I will just create new tracks, new stations, new all of the things, and eventually we're closing on the end of the line. The following stop is called Hjärtshytten Puisto, which is Hjärtshyttes Park. And okay. 108 in... Okay, there is... I mean, once again, because the stops are on different sides of crossings, I will always have to check that they are on a side of the crossing where as many buses can stop as possible. And this is the right place. Okay, come on, Mr. Keyboard or Mrs. Keyboard or Miss Keyboard. Why does the stop continue like that? This is the thing I don't understand. Why do the stops, why do the tracks, why do they behave differently from time to time? That's a thing I don't understand. No, oops. We're closing on the end of things. The line is very shortly over. Then we have Kuusiniementie, Granudsvägen, and this is once again funny. The stop is named differently from the street, and usually the stops are named after the streets, but we'll use the right name of the stop. So there we go, the stop has been created. We probably need a bridge over the not very troubled water. Oops. You are starting to hear. Oops! No, don't stop. Don't do that. You are starting to hear more and more oopsies here as the night progresses. I mean, like I told you previously, I'm not creating one video per day. I usually spend the night drinking beer, creating some lines, just enjoying myself and yapping. And usually when the evening progresses, there will be more and more mistakes because of the beer. But that's basically the point of the channel. Get drunk and drink some beer, get drunk, create lines. That's the order in which I'm operating. So a lot of things will happen, and we're very close. Once again, we're very close to the end. But that's Kuusiniementie Granudsvägen, and then we have Kuusisaaren Kuja. I don't even want to know what that's called. Granegrent. Okay, accepted. This is one of the richest neighborhoods in Helsinki. There are one family houses in here. And it's a pretty nice area actually. I've driven this road several times. I've taken the bus several times. Perhaps this bus, perhaps some other bus running through it. This probably isn't the only one. But yeah, that's correct. It isn't. I actually just checked it. So, but it's a nice area. Once again, it's a bit too peaceful for me, who's used to living in the city. The following stop will be called Lehtisaarentie. Okay, I can see where this track is going. This is actually merging several different forms of traffic. But yeah, the following stop is Lehtisaarentie, Löövevägen, and it is over here. Will we need another bridge? Oh, yes. No, we won't. Oh, yes, we will. Okay. So let's create one. It will be a stupid twisting bridge. I don't care. Because once again, the track behaves in a way I don't expect it to behave. I don't know if the developers of the game are watching this, but I would like to have an explanation. why why the game engine has decided that that's a good idea, but okay. And there we are. The following stop is Otaranta, Utstrand, and this is why we will create an intersection between the tram line and the bus line over here, and move these signals to a safe place, and that signals in here and in here. I think it went the right way now. And then we'll just go on with the bus line until we reach this probably artificial cape. And then it's going to be a bridge. And look, this bridge is straight. I still don't know why things behave the way they behave. Oh, no, I'm going all wrong, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. My intention has always been to create this line, just don't get stuck to the details there. And so we start following the new tram track over here, and it's Otaranta, and it's this stop over here. But we're not exactly following it that closely, because there is a stop meant for the metro station, but it's not going to be on the tram track. So let's see what's going to happen in here if we do it this way. It's going to create a new station, but we will just destroy the station and merge it with the real station, because they all have the same name. Oops, that is totally wrong. That's what's supposed to happen. There we go. And then if the tram runs on its own tracks, then we will just push this bus line on its own tracks next to the tram line. Where will they separate? Well, they would have actually separated somewhere over there, but I'm lazy. I have to admit it. I'm lazy. I will not be creating the road. I will just merge it with the tram tracks. And I am not ashamed of admitting that I'm lazy. I'm just, oops. I went to the wrong place. I just want to, oops, again. They're too close to, oops. They're too close to each other, these two. But, yeah. This place should work properly, as the metro track is underground, but I don't want to take any risks. So there, we're almost there. Just a couple of more stops. And like as you can see, this stretch of track has connected one part of the town to another in quite a spectacular fashion. And where was I? I was at the Aalto-yliopisto stop. Now it will make something interesting. So this bus line will make some twists and some turns. But eventually it will get there. And I can tell you at this point I have 3 stops left. And that is not much. And then it will make another interesting turn because the following stop. Where is it going? Over there. Mm-hmm. This is an interesting turn of events because the following stop on the line is all the way over here. And it really is called Innopoli. So no renaming stops there, but how will how on earth will I get it all the way there is a big question. I will also have to check if there are any other stops which I have somehow missed, but this is a really long distance between two stops in urban areas. And yes, there really are no stops in between to either way of running this line. So this is it's an interesting turn of events. I think the last time I created this line, it stopped somewhere else. I will just make the signals to the intersection. Although the metro is running underground, I will just put in those signals just for safety, you know, because I don't know how this game behaves anymore. I will just have to hope for the best. But there we are at Innopoli. And then the line makes another strange loop, could I say? It stops at Laivamiehen polku, Skepparkransen. Okay, Skepparkransen. This is very, very nice here. We'll put the stop in here. It's an approximate location, really. And if it does stop on all of these stops on the way back, I will be surprised because I think that this end loop will be sort of a compromise. There we go. That's also an interesting intersection. I have driven through it sometimes. It doesn't function very well, but this is not my problem. This is the problem of the game engine from now on, because I'm just creating what has been told to me. And then the final stop. The terminus of the line is called Tietotie Datavägen. And now let me see. It stops over there. Oh yes, I knew it. So it does a loop like this. Or well, I will actually have to check it because there is a looping place in there. Interesting. Let's see how this line will end. I am not totally sure about it. After all. But of this section of the line I am pretty sure about. This will function in this way. Oops. I told you the tracks were too close. And there we go. But now I will have to check from the browser how the line runs the other way around. And the answer is it will not complete the loop, or more or less it will do a loop like this, but the line continues in a manner where it skips a couple of stops. So now we've built approximately what there is to be built. I will probably get to the point at some point where I will need to make some fixes. But this, my dear friends, is line 52. And line 52 will be created right now. And this is actually a special line because it's marketed and it's created as a Helsinki internal line, and yet it does run in Helsinki, Vantaa and Espoo. And it's probably the only line of its kind to do that. At least I can't think of any other line which does it. But okay. And it skips this stop. That's what was already agreed. And then, can I still remember correctly where it went from now on? I can't. Yes, it turned right here and it went straight through there. Right. There is a stop which I have missed. Shit. There is a stop which I have missed. And it's right over there in Huopalahti. Let's go over there. Yep. There is an issue, and here I will rectify it at once. So Ilkantie stop actually is also included on this side of the track. There. And then I will just have to make it no. We'll delete the station and we'll merge it with the station next door. There we go. Now it should work properly. So after Huopalahti, it's Ilkantie. Still working, and then we move into this area. And as you can see, the lines with the 50s are pretty long, they're pretty complex, and they try to merge. It skips that one, I remember it. They try to merge several different lines. And creating these and creating lines can sometimes be pretty okay, something's happened in here. Well, yeah, they can have their issues. I will actually have to check that the distances between the stops seem sensible, because sometimes I miss turns. And if I miss turns, there will be very long distances between stops. But I think I made it. Okay, now we'll just have to bring this thing back from here and remember all the same things which I did remember when I took the bus line here. And once again, the stop distances are the best indicator on if you're doing it right or if you're doing it wrong. And I think I'm actually handling it at the moment. We will see when the lines start running. Yes. Like I said, I think this line is what it should be. Can't say for sure, but it seems so. Merging tracks in bus lines is difficult because the game isn't really designed for that. I mean, it's named by rails, not named by buses. And oh no, that was a mistake. It doesn't run through there. It does run through there. And through there. And through there. And that's it. The line has been created. Finally, this was a pretty well, let's say it was a pretty difficult line to create. And so let's have a look at the timetable when it says it does run. Well, during busy times it runs every 10 minutes. So we will require quite a bunch of trains or buses, I'm sorry, to run it. But every 10 minutes you say, so let's just do it. Oops. This line will require more than 10 buses. It will be an extremely expensive one to create. And I'm the one who looks at expenses. Now we're down to 26 minutes. Now we should be down to 21 minutes. Then it's gonna be. It will need to double. I mean, we really need to double the amount of buses from here to make it 10 minutes. So in reality, this was actually the most difficult lines I've been creating so far, but I managed to do it. And I am actually quite proud of myself that I managed it, and then also we'll have to check that it actually works. Because one more guys, one more, and we're up to 52 buses. But the fact that it actually works would be wonderful. Once again, I am not sure which line I will create in the following video. You will just have to wait and see. And the moment you will see it will come tomorrow. But until then, it's gonna be bye.